assistance be targeted at small and medium enterprises involved in manufacturing in order to boost production. That work on the local content policy be urgently finalized in order to promote the utilization of local resources by industries and in the process reduce the demand on foreign currency as well as increase employment creation. 6. The need to have an industrial fund, in particular the foreign currency component for retooling of the local industry was also considered. 7. To urgently pursue government-to-government agreements for the provision of medicines in order to alleviate the current shortages. Such arrangements should enable NATFARM to procure medicines on credit. The visit by the Honorable Vice President of India, who is expected to arrive in Zimbabwe during the course of this week, should provide some significant headway in this regard. Cabinet also looked at the dualization of the Harare-Masvingo Bay Bridge Highway. After receiving a briefing by the Minister of Transport and Infrastructural Development on progress in the rehabilitation and dualization of the Harare-Masvingo Bay Bridge Highway, following the decision by government to use the resources from the road fund, it was agreed, the decision which was taken was we need to commence, the work has to commence on the rehabilitation and dualization of the highway as soon as possible, using resources, using local resources. This major highway, which joins the North-South Development Corridor in the sub-region, is long overdue to be done. We know we have been losing a lot of lives traveling on those roads. In terms of this arrangement, the highway will be upgraded in 2 phases. Phase 1 entails the rehabilitation and widening of the existing roads. This will bring the road to the same standard as N1 on the South African side and the Chirundu-Lusaka Road on the Zambian side. This phase will be completed in 3 years. The phase 2 will entail the dualization of the rest of the sections of the road. This envisaged implementation model will entail utilization of local contractors, local materials, and of course our labor, which has the advantage also of increasing local employment generation and stimulating greater demand for the overall economy. Cabinet also got a progress report on the modernization of the Beitbridge border post. The Minister of Transport and Infrastructure Development, Honorable Matiza, briefed Cabinet on progress on the modernization of the country's premier port of entry, the Beitbridge border post. The project is valued at $231.2 million and will entail the upgrading of the border post with new terminal buildings, commercial facilities, construction of a fire station, upgrading of sewer and water reticulation for Beitbridge town, including a raw water pipeline and reservoir, plant and animal quarantine facility, and the construction of staff housing for border agencies. And then we went to talk about there was a report on the Memorandum of Understanding on the harmonization of the seed regulatory framework in the Southern African Development Community, SADC. Cabinet considered and approved the Memorandum of Understanding on the harmonization of the seed regulatory framework in the Southern African Development Community from the Minister of Lands, Agriculture, Water, Climate and Rural Settlement. The objective of the harmonized seed regulatory system is to address regional seed insecurity through integrating smaller and national seed markets into one large Southern African Development Community seed market. The benefits that will accrue to Zimbabwe as a result of acceding to the MOU would be as follows. We will have increased access to the regional seed markets for our local companies, increased seed production, increased competition resulting in improved varieties and service delivery, improved national seed and food security through increased production, and increased foreign currency earnings through export of seed. The country would also contribute to the building of regional seed and food security, thereby alleviating hunger and poverty. Cabinet also had a report on the bilateral air service agreement between the Republic of Zimbabwe and the Republic of Mozambique. Cabinet approved the bilateral air service agreement between the Republic of Zimbabwe and the Republic of Mozambique. The main objective of the agreement is to provide a governing framework for the operation of air transport services between the two countries. The agreement thus facilitates the provision of air services and promotion of travel and trade between the two sister republics, which already enjoy close economic, political, and social ties. And last but not least, Cabinet also approved the principles of the Public Finance Management Amendment Bill as presented by the Minister of Finance and Economic Development in order to achieve alignment with the Constitution. In essence, the bill seeks to A, align the Public Finance Management Act to the supreme law of the land. B, to enhance the public resources management framework in line with global best practices. C, to incorporate provisions that facilitates allocation of revenues to provincial and local tiers of government. This is in line with the devolution. And D, to provide for the separation of estimates of revenue and expenditure for specific institutions. And E, to embrace the principle of mainstreaming gender-responsive approaches to finance management matters and elimination of discrimination against women. As a continuation of yesterday's interaction with the private sector, after Cabinet, the President held a follow-up meeting with seed producers and fertilizer producers. As you are aware, there is an outcry there of the prices. At this meeting, the President was formally informed of the positive developments regarding the prices, which are now being continuously reviewed downwards, so that at least our people can go back to the fields. I want to thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. There it is. It's your time now to ask any questions or seek any clarification on some pertinent issues. As usual, we indicate who you are, the organization you represent. Yes, the man in front of me.
Thank you. My name is Love James Tongwiz. I'm from 26 Richard. Honorable Minister, I don't know if I got you right here. You said some companies have lost their licenses. Some fewer companies have lost their licenses. Are you at liberty to tell us which companies have lost their licenses?
This is a question I'll direct to Honorable Minister.
Yes, thank you very much. Basically, it was one of the companies called Glow. And I think we are aware that these companies, when you see the insignia to say Glow or Zua, the service stations that they run. So we've not withdrawn the license from Glow per se, but we've withdrawn the service license at 3 of their service stations which they operate.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions? Yes, sir, to back there.
Thank you. My name is Takuchi Mbakwe from Zimbabwe. I just want to make to get clarity on the timelines for when the widening of the Great Bridge, Rari Road, Masvingo Highway, is going to start, the first phase.
Minister.
Thank you. Actually, the first phase has already started. We started mobilization of equipment through CMED, and as we speak now, some of the equipment is on site, clearing site and creating detours. So it's already started.
Let me have 3 questions before we get answers. Yes, I start with you.
My name is Blessing. I'm with the Win Papers Television Network. My question is a follow-up to Honorable Minister Gumbo. For the service stations, I just needed clarity. Are they issues to do with safety, or it's issues to do with quality assurance? And with the shortages that are happening in the market, what is the regulatory body doing, the energy regulatory body doing to assure the motoring public that the product they're getting is good quality?
Maybe
Sorry, another question. Let's have 2 more. Anyone else? Yes.
My second question would be on the seed. So we've heard that the president was made with the seed company. We saw some talk rise from seed company first year. Is there any resolution to say this is not the position that the government is taking after discussion with the seed companies? And also, lastly, my last question goes to the finance minister, like Mr. Grace. Yesterday, as the PEMSEC was presenting in Parliament, he spoke on the number of subsidies that government is giving regards subsidizing oil, subsidizing electricity, and you were saying some of these things also affect the deficit. So going forward, are we going to see some of these cutbacks also affecting? I mean, as government cuts expenditure, are we also going to be seeing some cuts on those subsidies?
Yes, last question. So seem to be
Sure.
done on that. So,
Okay. I think the first question was directed to you, Minister.
Yes, thank you very much. Yes, the reasons for closing down or withdrawing the licenses are not because of the quality of the product. The quality of the product is okay, is good, but overcharging was the main reason for closing those service stations. What happens is that ZERA regulates the prices for diesel and petrol, and if you charge or overcharge, then you get discipline for doing that, and that is really what happened. So they got punished because they were charging prices above the recommended price by ZERA. So that was the reason why they were the licenses were withdrawn, not because of the quality.
So, you want to add something? I think the next question was on seed, but I think the question was actually directed at the meeting which the President has had with the seed companies. Okay. Yeah, Minister of Trade and Commerce.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. I think that question though was addressed
Yeah.
to say from the deliberations it emerged really that they had already begun reviewing prices downwards, and they are continuing to review their cost structures, but they gave the President assurance that they will continue to revise downwards the prices. And maybe just to add that they also assured the President that they will be able to meet the demand in terms of quantities of the seed and fertilizers that are needed for the season.
And I think the last question was really not coming out of the cabinet, but let me ask the Minister of Finance if there's anything to say.
Absolutely. Now, at this stage, we have no intention to review any subsidies to the final consumer. Also, given the fact that there's been some stress in terms of price hikes. Although we're pleased that this is being reversed with our open relationship, cooperative relationship with the industry and commerce. But at this stage, we have no intention of reviewing any subsidies for the consumers. Thank you.
All right. Do we have any more questions, or we are done? Yes.
This one is directed to Minister of Transport.
Okay.
Any plans for government to resuscitate people, as we have seen the Motor Republic have been fleeced by commuter owners, and the commuter owners are only using cash as a method of payment?
Anyway, before you say something, it's not arising from a decision of cabinet, and in any case, that portfolio on the SUPCO is under local government. It has nothing to do with the Minister of Transport. So I think it would be unfair to ask one question over issues which were not discussed in the cabinet, and also to ask the Minister of Transport to speak over an assignment which is not under his portfolio. So reserve that when the Minister of Local Government is around, that he can answer that. Yes, we can have the last two, then we'll finish.
Yeah, my name is Wilson Gakorira from Zim Papers. My question is, what are you going to do, or what are your plans in as far as making sure that prices that are being charged by retailers or shops in town are getting back to normal?
Okay, I had almost a similar question. So I was going to say, are there maybe mechanisms to ensure that those that do not adhere to your directive to reduce prices, they face some sort of penalties? Are there any mechanisms to make sure that consumers are protected?
I think, first of all, the government of the new dispensation, the government of the Second Republic, has actually improved engagement with the private sector, especially all stakeholders. As we have rightly said, after cabinet, the president himself had time to meet the seed producers and fertilizer producers. It's actually a question of working together, talk about the issues, talk about the challenges, and finally coming up with something which will save our people. Because these companies are Zimbabwean companies, and the people who are talking about are Zimbabweans. And so as Zimbabweans all come together, it's no longer an issue of government and people on this side, or issue of government and private sector on the other side. This is why we have increased that platform, where we continuously engage until we get the right position where our people of Zimbabwe are not short-changed.
Thank you. I think Honourable Minister has covered it well. The government has not issued any directive for any companies to reduce prices. We've engaged them, and for instance, today, before they came in here, they had already begun the process of reviewing their prices. So it's in response to that. There's a question on prices getting back to normal. Look, we believe again that it's a function of supply and demand, and as you know that the amendment to SI 122 was gazetted only late yesterday. So we want to believe in the coming few days we should be seeing more supplies coming in, and we hope that process should also help reduce the prices in the market.
So thank you very much. We meet again next week.